In a story that has gripped the nation, the quiet community of Cabazon, California, has been shaken to its core. On August 24th, 2025, law enforcement made a shocking arrest. Rebecca Haro, 41, and her husband Jake Haro, 32, were taken into custody on suspicion of murder, following a police visit to their home just a day earlier. This visit was prompted by a chilling child abuse complaint, raising red flags that led investigators to delve deeper into the couple's troubled past. As the investigation unfolds, authorities now believe that their 7-month-old son Emmanuel is no longer alive, a stark contradiction to the desperate claims made by Rebecca. In a heart-wrenching report to 911 on August 14th, Rebecca Haro alleged that her baby had been kidnapped. She recounted a harrowing tale, claiming a stranger knocked her unconscious while she was changing Emmanuel's diaper outside a Big Five sporting goods store in Yucaipa, California. This initial report ignited a firestorm of public concern and sympathy for the missing infant, but as days passed, the story began to unravel. Days before the alleged kidnapping, Rebecca had visited the Big Five store, raising eyebrows when she claimed that her car had been burglarized. In a twist of fate, she asked employees whether the store had surveillance cameras, seemingly laying the groundwork for her tale of abduction. When questioned about these inconsistencies, Rebecca maintained her story defiantly, asserting, "I want to be out looking for my baby." Her emotional plea echoed through the community, but beneath the surface, a darker narrative was beginning to emerge. Now incarcerated at the Robert Presley Detention Center in Riverside, Rebecca's demeanor has changed since her arrest. During a jailhouse interview on August 24th, she spoke through a glass partition, her blue jumpsuit a stark reminder of her current reality. Her hair, once neatly tied back, now hung loosely around her shoulders, and a visible bruise adorned her face, a haunting symbol of the turmoil surrounding her. The sterile environment of the jail contrasted sharply with her emotional turmoil, creating a poignant backdrop for her desperate claims. Rebecca's relationship with Jake has come under scrutiny as well. She married him in 2021, fully aware of his troubling history. Describing their bond as, quote, wonderful, she insists he was a loving father, declaring he is a good dad. He would never hurt a baby. But this assertion is now met with skepticism as investigators dig deeper into Jake's past. Well, let's examine the facts surrounding her husband, a man with a notorious history of abuse. The sister of missing 7-month-old Emmanuel, a little girl named Promise, suffered unspeakable injuries at just 10 weeks old, leaving her unable to see, talk, or walk. Abby Escobar, a journalist known for her tenacity, revealed that Emmanuel's sister Promise, Jake Haro's daughter from a previous marriage, was, quote, practically killed by the injuries inflicted upon her as an infant. The details of Promise's injuries are not only heartbreaking, but also chillingly indicative of a pattern of neglect and abuse that now casts a shadow over the Haro family. Promise was admitted to a hospital in 2018 with multiple broken bones, including an acute fractured rib, healing fractures in 6 ribs, a skull fracture, a brain hemorrhage, and swelling of the neck. The severity of her condition raised immediate alarm among medical professionals who recognized the signs of potential abuse. An affidavit from doctors at Loma Linda University Medical Center confirmed their grave concerns. They noted that the combination of these injuries in a pre-mobile infant is indicative of severe physical abuse and nutritional neglect. The medical community was deeply troubled by the absence of a plausible explanation for such significant trauma, leading to questions about the care she received at home. Jake Haro's past is directly tied to these injuries, as he was held responsible for the conditions that led to Promise's hospitalization. His history of child cruelty raises serious questions about his ability to care for children, including Emmanuel. In 2018, he pleaded guilty to willful child cruelty, a conviction that hangs heavily over the current investigation. The troubling pattern of injuries, neglect in his past, casts a shadow over the current investigation into Emmanuel's disappearance, leading authorities and the public to scrutinize the Haro's parenting and the circumstances surrounding both children's welfare. As the investigation into Emmanuel's disappearance progressed, shocking details emerged about Jake Haro's behavior. In a particularly disturbing revelation, he told police that his sister had opened his iPad to a webpage titled "How to Feed a Baby with Broken Ribs." This claim raised further questions about his involvement and knowledge of childcare, especially given his criminal history. Jake's denial of using the iPad at the time of the search, which occurred before Promise was admitted to the hospital, only added to the suspicions surrounding him. Abby Escobar, who reported extensively on Promise's story, spoke with the little girl's adoptive mother, a cousin of Jake's ex-wife. She had renamed the girl Promise Faith, reflecting her hope and resilience. Quote, "They were told that they didn't think she would even live a week after this happened, but they have done everything they can for this little girl to keep her going," Escobar recounted. Quote, "She can't walk, she can't talk, she's blind. It's just horrible. But I mean, Promise is her miracle baby, and she really is. It's amazing that she survived that at 10 weeks old." The adoptive mother's heartbreak was palpable as she recalled the moment she first heard about Emmanuel's disappearance. Quote, "She feels that justice wasn't served the first time," Escobar reported, capturing the emotional weight of the situation. Quote, "When she first heard the news story, it just broke her to pieces. She immediately had a feeling, as I feel most people have. I mean, the story just doesn't really make much sense." As investigators searched the Haro's home, they seized electronics belonging to Jake as part of their ongoing inquiry. Warrants were issued for cell phones belonging to Emmanuel's parents, Rebecca and Jake Haro, as deputies continued their search for him. The community held its breath, hoping for a miracle, but fearing the worst. As of now, the Haros have not been formally charged, but a tentative court date is scheduled for August 26th. In a notable development, Jake, who was originally booked into the Riverside Jail, has been moved to the Larry D. Smith Correctional Facility in Banning. Both Rebecca and Jake are being held without bail as the investigation continues. As of August 25th, Emmanuel remains missing, with Mara Rodrigo, spokesperson for San Bernardino County, confirming the ongoing investigation into his disappearance. The community remains concerned and vigilant as authorities work to uncover the truth behind this troubling case. The heartbreak of Promise's past intertwines with the mystery of Emmanuel's disappearance, leaving many feeling uneasy and anxious. In the end, the hope for justice and the search for truth loom large over Cabazon as the story of the Haro family continues to unfold, a tale marked by suspicion, heartbreak, and the desperate longing for answers.